Hello YouTube, I'm recording. Although, I didn't really need to tell you, did I? I mean, you already know, you're watching a recording. This ain't live. Or were you thinking it was? Sorry. Well, not sorry really, you should have noticed. Anyway, let's get cracking on Dwarf Fortress, shall we? Let's take a look at the state of the fort as it stands. What is the deal with this place? It looks like the surface is okay. A little glance to the top left-hand corner of the screen tells me no siege, which is nice. We have traders in? Question mark? No, just tons of crap laying around. That's standard. It's got a fairly vomit-riddled corridor, but last time we turned off a lot of the fishing and surface gathering, so I'm not sure why people are going up there. I'm not entirely sure who's decided to go up to the surface, take a look at the sun and go, ugh, because, you know, that's what's happening. Terrible stuff. Let's have a little look on the floor below, see what's going on down there. Nothing, just stairs. The food production zone and clothes area is looking a little bit confused and busy, if I'm honest. There's not a lot of interesting stuff that ever goes on around here, unless I'm kind of trying to pick out why people aren't moving things into the required stockpiles or trying to fix these production lines of clothes. But until we can figure out a way of dealing with all the tatty old bullshit they're discarding, I'm not entirely sure what we're going to be able to do with our production lines, because this little set of stockpiles I set up for fresh clothes just ended up getting completely filled with crap. And we don't want that. We don't want crap in there. Not at all. Hello, Telia. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. By the way, if you want to name me in this fortress, that's cool. But don't forget, I'm also offering namies in the Crusader Kings game that I've been doing in the daytime. So if any of you want a baby in that, please step forward, because frankly, we've got more babies than we've got names at the moment. It's getting silly. We already have our second, which is, you know, once you're going too deep on a name, you've gone too deep, so to speak. That's the two different meanings of two. I'm sure you understood. Thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated. Sal says, I fell asleep while I was watching the last CK3 stream, unfortunately, so it's nice to know that I'm causing fecundity problems. Well, I don't know if there are problems. In the words of Bad Religion, is your fecundity a trammel or a treasure? We can't tell yet. What we can tell is that one of your little babs has inherited the throne of England and is about to yoink it off up into Scotland for chunky nuts. So let's be excited about that, shall we? Let's be pleased for that. Isn't it possible to disable worn items in a stockpile? Is it? I believe I've had a look for those settings and I don't think I found them. So if you have extra info that I'm not aware of, please do tell. And even if it's some kind of extra DF hack thing, I don't feel too bad about that. I think we can do that. It'll be fine. Hello, Edpar00. Thanks for joining us. Welcome back. Fecundity, Cad's religion. No, Cad's religion is a religion where they draw technical images of different engineering diagrams and stuff. That's what Cad religion is. Bad religion, very different. Good band, though. Telia wants a baby in CK3. I shall leave you in the queue, and the next time I'm playing, we'll pop you in. I don't think it'll be long to wait, because, frankly, I'm getting a bit addicted. It's very good. It's very good fun. So where were we? Sorry, it's getting distracted from the Dwarf Fortress. Let's check the next floor down. Yep. Something's going on here. We've got our stockpiles for metals, bars and ores. Excuse me, we've got clays. What have we got here? This is bars and blocks. Okay, we're building lots of glass blocks, I remember. Here's our sand collection. Here's our various magma forges. All very good. It looks like for some reason we now don't have the 10 silver warhammers I was so pleased about producing. Perhaps the military have picked them up and armed themselves? I'm not sure. I did tell them to use hammers last time, so it is quite likely that they've grabbed them, nabbed them, hauled them away. No one, of course, is wearing the full set of Masterwork copper armour that I've produced for everybody, but that's okay, because realistically, as is repeatedly mentioned in chat, we want them to train in leather. Training in metal just slows down the early stages of the process. We want to grease the lower end of the curve with a bit of leather, rather than weighting it down. Phrasing? Do I have a dwarf in this fortress? Is this still my embark? It is still very much your embark, Telia. I'll have a little look. My beautiful house, my beautiful automobile. Da, 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 da. Excuse me, I appear to have got to entirely the wrong screen. Here we go. Let's have a little look in Dwarf Therapist and see if Telia has a namey. If I go over here, we can click search by has nickname. If it comes to the top, we can see, if I refresh quickly, 64 adults, 1 child, and 0 vulnerable babies. We've got Arctrecht, Arse Candles, Asbestos, Beardstir, Blueberry, that makes sense, Chunky Nut 666, Corky Derp, Dingo Dong, Iron Yarn, Friday, Fuzzy, Harry Beaver, Ice Frost King, Jack Ryan, Jazz Hands, Kiyohime, Mikey, Mama Sal, Ocelot, Firehawk, Plutonium Jesus, Ravelin, Sanctum, who would be Sanctum Spiritstone, of course, Sapo, Spider Jim, the Popiltron, Veru, and Zasts. So it appears that Tidy has either never been here or perished prior to our arrival here. Let me just check in the dead screen. 49 in the dead screen. Have we got a Tidy? We've got Bahuntone, we've got Single, we've got Zoe, we've got Jeanette Tuff, we've got Shizou, Major Farts. What a twat that guy was. Not the guy who's named after, but the dwarf. What a wanker. We've got Conquest of Games, we've got Zlatan, Clay Cree, Charlie, Dirty Dan, Tidy. You were here early, you were here. Let me just go over to Dwarf Fortress and we can show you. There you go. Tidy Olonkaman, the Bow Dwarf. Of course, no rules here about you having a second dwarf. Now this one's dead, so don't worry about it. We will name one in your honour or dishonour. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure how it goes. Greased leather indeed. Yes. Well, the Oily Boys didn't actually have a uniform. They were very much in the let's just take it all off and see what happens camp. And camp it was. My goodness, they were rolling around on the floor like crazy. You're right, there is no worn item criteria, but someone online said you can kind of do it by setting the stockpile to only take from workshops. Actually, that's genius. That is genius, actually. That would work. That would really work. Yes, the YouTube recording did start, Clickery, don't you worry. Not so much a military unit, more of a pride float. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're a pride float, but they're a pride float sent by the military on an undercover operation. Sure, they know what they're doing. They can fit in. They blend. But they are a gang of trained killers. They're there to grab you, roll around on the floor with you, and not in a fun, sexy way. In a scary, dangerous way. Scary, dangerous pectoral oil. Turns out Greece is not great armour. No, apparently not. Apparently not. I mean, unless you had the whole country of Greece in front of you, in which case I think that would stop a bullet. Although it does depend how deep you're going. Because if you're only going to take the very top layer of Greece, the patina, just the lightest dust coat, maybe a thin layer of asphalt from the roads, I feel like even unless they hit you from a building like point, it's going to go straight through and kill you. You need a big chunk of grease if you're going to do that. Anyway, Tidy had an adventure in the Squish Room. Oh yes, of course, Sal. We prefer to call it the mental health facility. That's what it's all about. The happy room. I mean, it's not technically. It doesn't make people happy. It just reduces the sadness in the fortress, putting the general overall mood trajectory of the fortress towards the happy end. That's what happens there. Claycree would like a clothes maker. I think you're still here, but we'll have a little look. That's a lot of legendary dead guys. How old is this fort? Well, Edpar. Is it Edpar or is it Edpar? We'll find out sooner or later. The reason we've got so many legendaries is I think some of them are miners, which train up very quickly. We've been doing a lot of smoothing and engraving. Who are they? It's the flashing ones who are legendary, right? Woodcrafter? Dunno. I mean, presumably it's moods. I thought I knew why these people were all legendary, but now I look at the wide variety. This one's a fucking goblin. See, now I look at the wide variety of things that are going on here. I have no idea why there are so many legendaries. The fortress is 6 years old. It's not super old. It's, oldish. Old-ish. There's a proud tradition of elite military units made up of lovers in the ancient world, at least allegedly. I heard that too. I heard that the old Spartan elites were very close to each other. In fact, so close that sometimes they were inside. It was probably quite good for morale, I would imagine. Like, you know, you're not sitting there moping about the gal you left behind because you brought a bloke with you. It's good. It's nice. I like improving a school's Ofsted rating by expelling all the low achieving kids. Yes, expelling them with enormous what's it called? Drawbridges that slam them into the ground, thoroughly atomizing them. If that's like that, it's like that. I think you do already exist, Druids Mead, but you also may have had to have undergone some psychological treatment. Let's take a quick look at Dwarf Therapist quickly again. Who was it who asked? It was Claycree and Telier and... Oh wait, it was Tidy. Tidy was dead. Not... Wait a minute. Is Telier here? Hold on. I was looking at the wrong name, wasn't I? Dead. We're looking at the wrong screen. I'm sitting there going, oh, these people should be dead. What's happened? No, it's Tidy. It wasn't Telier. I don't see you, Telia. I'm not sure you've been in the fortress. How did I get that so frighteningly wrong? Druids Mead wanted a brewer. Let's check Druids Mead. I'm just looking in therapist. No, your brewer's died. You had a brewer, but they're dead now, so hey. Hello, Fuzzy Logic. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. We're just checking to see who's alive and who's dead for the purpose of pointing names to people. You're still very much alive and kicking, which is nice, isn't it? There you are. Oh, you can't see it because I'm not on the right screen, but you're there. You're there. Don't worry. I'm sure there are some academies that would use atom smashers on kids if they could get away with it. I'm more than certain of that, yeah. I mean, god damn it. They don't want their grade point average slipping. If I died, can I have Tulier? I don't think you've died yet. Yes, that naming scheme works for me. I'm happy with that. But I feel like you might be one Lier? Telier. You might be Telier, I think. Because I don't see a Telier in this dead list, and I don't see one in the alive list implying that you never were or have not yet been. So with that in mind, let me just actually take us back over to therapist and I'll do the namies. I'll do the naming stuff. Do not worry, my dear viewers, the naming will get done. Right, we'll leave Telier's Babe Me in CK3 request and we'll look for a clothes maker for Claycree. Claycree wants a clothes maker. Where is clothes making? There is clothes making. Well, let's kind of have one of the nicknames. That's not going to work. They've already got names. What about these lads? There we go, a level 12 called Nil. Let's give him the name Claycree with a K. Claycree. There we go. And commit. Lovely. Very good. And then I can also say tick and take away the points. Ooh, come home to me, channel points. Druids Mead wants a brewer. Do we have a brewer available though? This is the question. Can't be a nicknamey. Goodbye, nicknamey. No brewers. On the other hand, though, we could just activate brewing on Odom and call him Druids Mead, right? Could we do that? I think we could, couldn't we? Here he is, Odom. Brewing. D-R-U-I-D-S-E-M-E-A-D. Druids Mead. There we go. Committed. Who else have we got here? Let's tick that one. And 1 minute ago, Telier, it is then. Architect, please. I may not be able to specify an architect because I think that's a very broad profession in this fortress. We basically just said, fuck it, everyone do it. Because you don't need any special training to be an architect in Dwarf Fortress world. Things work very differently. It's not really what you'd call a profession. It's more of an amateur. That doesn't work. That doesn't work as a joke. Strike that one from the record, please. We've got an architect here. Geshud. Geshud the architect. Set nickname, and in it goes T-E-A-L. No. T-E-L-E-A-R. Telier. Telier? Have I pronounced that right for the first time ever? Is that me doing it right, or am I wrong? I can't tell. Hello, Alceris. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. No, Ravelin hasn't died yet. You've done quite well, I think. You've been a survivor. Let's have a quick check to make sure that is definitely the case. Sort by alphabetical order. No, still going strong. You're also not unhappy. Your happiness level is fine. So that's good, isn't it? You probably might be visiting the psychologist anytime soon. That great stone monolithic psychologist. Let's go over to the Fortress game. There we go. There were starving times. That's true. There were more than starving times. There was starving times, and one of our vital key workers burrowed in the middle of the room a few feet away from the workshop he's supposed to be using times. It was bad. This fortress had a bit of a rocky beginning, mainly due to my perpegacity, but it's alright. It's not too bad. Isn't there a slight value multiplier for buildings designed by skilled architects? Maybe. That might be the case. I'm not entirely sure. Yes, says Sal in chat. Multiple pronunciations are acceptable. You mean I can say it more than once? Tilia? Nice. It's so hard to get any skills, even with one architect. I'm not sure it's worth it. You'd have to sit there building and striking down buildings constantly, right? It would seem like a lot of effort for not a huge payback. Okay, here we go. Let's unpause the game, and now that we've named everybody, let things continue. I'll continue looking around out of pause, because otherwise it's going to take too long. We've already been going for 26 minutes, which means it's 5 minutes to midnight. Ooh, exciting. Nearly the witching hour. So all my stocks are being done nicely. They're sorting out the rhyolite problem bit by bit. That's not too bad. Presumably, yep, still loads of it to be shifted yet. I think we're using up hoof and bone by the looks of things now. Looks of things now. Muscle shell's not being used so fast, but that stray ram horn and all the donkey hooves very much being used up. So presumably there's items in the fortress knocking around covered in beautiful decorations. Lovely. Of course we've got our jewellers here, not currently... Oh, no, not currently active. I don't think anyone needs to bring a wheelbarrow to pick up gemstones, right? Unless we've been very lucky. Okay, all these workshops looking good. It doesn't look like any of our masons are going to be active because the stockpiles are pretty much full here. Is there anything else we can do with the masons to keep them going? Potentially get them burning through some of this stone material? Think about it later. And here's our dining hall with food storage areas. And this is a library. We're going to make this into a library, but it's currently being smoothed. So until it's been smoothed, there's not really much we can do with that room. It was always Teliar in my head till I discovered most everyone on Twitch went with Tulia, which I'm also fine with. Well, there you go. There you go. That's a magnanimous move, being able to take whatever pronunciation. Well done. What would you say are the hardest to train skills? Which ones to pick on Embark? Probably Sal is correct. I've never really thought about it. The easy, I can tell you what are easy. Mining is easy to train. Any of the crafting skills, as long as you just set them going, banging out item after item, they're fine. No problem at all. But I would imagine anything to do with fighting, I know anything to do with fighting is an absolute pain in the arse. And there's a lot of fiddling going on with the ranged as well. If you're getting bows and crossbows and shit, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of buggering around. I've been using the same gamer handle since the late 90s as well. I think it's been my online handle since I was like 12, 13. So since the very early 90s. Shit. I read years ago taking a max teacher with armor plus shield user can be a thing. Well, I did an interesting little embark where I took a non-standard number of dwarves. I took loads of dwarves, and I decided to take one person with every skill as high as I can put it on Embark, every skill I wanted anyway, and then enough for a military squad where everybody had a little bit of teacher, everybody had a little bit of student, and everybody had different weapon skills and armor skills. Sadly, that never got tested. It's sitting there on this computer, but I haven't played it since I first set it up because I just started playing this one, and I wasn't really going to play it off stream. Dwarf Fortress for me is very much an on-stream game. Same with Crusader Kings at the moment, but I am tempted to do off-stream Crusader Kings. Tempted, but I haven't really done it yet. Engraving's easy and very high value considering the amount of engraving that gets done. That's true. That's true. I don't know when I just said my email. God, it would have been probably a little bit before 96. I'm guessing somewhere like 92 or 93. Something along those lines. I would have had a very early a Hotmail account or something. Something like that. How do you safely break the side of a volcano for magma forges? It doesn't have pressure, so all you have to do is get down on it, get down to the level, and you can do it diagonally. I think it flows a little bit slower diagonally, but otherwise just get a dwarf who can move fast and get them to do it, and they run. Magma can vaporize a dwarf in that scenario almost instantaneously, but I find often enough the dwarf will get away. Oh, Erdim the Potter has withdrawn from society. Where are you, Erdim? I don't see you anywhere. Presumably you've gone to claim a workshop. A magma kiln seems like the most likely proposition. If they're a potter. You doing it? Don't see them here yet. Surely they could have got here by now if they aren't. Alright, well we'll look for them in a minute. We'll just hang around here until they grab it for now. Let's have a look at... Oh, what was that? Okay, claimed a leatherworks. Okay, I genuinely thought you were a skilled potter, but turns out he's all about the leather. And why not? Why not make something out of leather? It's probably going to be some kind of face mask or skirt or something, but hey, whatever. Make a door just behind the last mined square. When the dwarf mines, he steps back and the door closes. Ah. Very good. Part of the reason I like using Ravelin as a handle is that it's very difficult to mispronounce, even for non-native English speakers. Ah, that's a good move. I chose Scoundrel because I like the ring of it, and also at the time I was picking my first online name, my first sort of pseudonym / moniker. I was reading the West End Games D6 Star Wars RPG book. And I liked the Scoundrel class, which was Han Solo's class, and I thought, yeah, I'll call myself Scoundrel. Why not? Don't judge me, I was like 12. This is .org.uk domain, had the same email address since then. Wow. I've never owned a domain, I don't think. I've never bothered to... I don't think I've ever had a website. I might have made like a little bit of like a thing here or there that someone may have put online, but I don't think I've ever... Most I've ever had is an ARC server, I think, in terms of online real estate. Can we zoom in a bit? Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. Better? How about that? It goes well, Beardster. It goes well. And also, I think you might now be the king in CK3. I might have to check that, but I think you've ascended to the throne in Claycree's wake. Well done. West End Star Wars system was great. I'm not so fussed about the dice, but I did enjoy the book overall. I got it one Christmas, I think, maybe 91, 92, something like that. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. Scoundrel's probably the least cringiest name a 12-year-old can come up with, at least. That's true. That's true. You mean I'm not called, I don't know, like, oh God, imagine the other thoughts that could have been. Just a few years later, I feel like my name would have been... Just a few months later, perhaps, my name would have been much more sexual, I think. Much more. What are we doing? Telia didn't pay for it about 15 years either. Got it registered that long ago. Wow. Wow. Back when they were like, oh, whatever. Just register it. It's fine. Since 98. Well, we've all got old handles, it would seem. We're old-handled people. Heavily handled. Handled and soiled, in my case. I never played the Ghostbusters RPG, although now that you say, I feel like setting up a Ghostbusters franchise sounds like a good scenario for a role-playing game. I like the idea of it. It's good. It is good. Oh. I've been meaning to run Call of Cthulhu for so long, but I just never get round to it. It's my favourite system by a country mile. Come on, where's this moody lad gone? Oh, here he is. Stone blocks. He's brought multiple stone blocks to the leatherworks, so I can only presume it's going to be a fairly substantial piece of clothing he's making. Unless he's doing something else in the leather workshop. Does anything other than clothing and armour come out? Which, obviously, armour is a subset of clothing, right? They have crossover categories. Or am I a lunatic here? I just realised I made my original name as a login for RuneScape. Ah, dear oh dear. Can't remember what I made mine. I think my Scoundrel actually might have been like a burner email account for nefarious purposes. And I actually had another one which has got my name in it, which I don't really use. It's weird how you come up with these names, isn't it? Sal says, I'm so glad the internet wasn't a thing when I was a kid. I don't know. The internet has played a big part in my life, and it just sort of started taking off as I just hit my early teens. So, born in 1980, you know, just a year or so after the furore and the excitement around games like Space Invaders. So I'm a little bit young to understand the gaming crash. And then the internet starts becoming a thing around sort of 1991, and it all gets really exciting, and there's that first wave of VR. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind being a kid now, though, to be fair, because if I'd had a Switch when I was my kid's age, my head would have exploded with joy. I would have been over the moon, cock-a-hoop. I never got around to RuneScape. I played a couple of MUDs. I did a few bulletin board games, BBSs and stuff. I used to go on those. Oh dear. So many internet stories that I'm not sure I should tell, because I don't know if the people involved would be like that. Would really be keen on me saying that. What? Oh no, sorry. I was just trying to remember someone's name, and then I thought, actually, you can't say his name on the stream anyway, so why would you do that? I'm very glad to have been involved in making the internet a thing, though I'm still pissed off that we fucked up the company sale that could have made me £1 million. Yikes. That sounds like a sore topic. I feel like if I'd missed out just on £1 million, I'd be a bit angry. But hey, it's all good. OSRS still plays. What's that, Edpar? I'm not sure what an OSRS is. Was that a typo, or am I missing some arcane information? Life of Ryan B, born in 82. Oh, there you go. Exciting stuff. It's both 40 this year then. I'm 40 in like, how many weeks is it? 3 weeks. Yikes. I haven't even told anybody. I haven't even given anyone ideas of what I want or what I want to do. I'm completely lost. I don't know what to do. It's supposed to be a big landmark birthday, and I can't be bothered. I just want to play games. I do that anyway. Tilia comes from Pernmush. Oh my goodness, a mush, a multi-user something. It's not a dungeon. SH multi-user. Sex house? No. I don't think so. Yeah, man. BBSs were great. Those early days of the internet where, you know, the dial-up came and oh man. What a great time. There were 1400 modems and the 2800. Oh my god. Amazing. I was old enough to be paranoid by the time I had access to the internet. Well, I mean, that's probably to your benefit. I'm lucky in that a lot of the sites where I might have left any kind of stupid shit have since gone defunct. But I feel like the archiving, especially on part of the NSA and such large organisations, is probably a little bit more stringent these days. Legend of the Red Dragon. Oh my god. Oldie days. Oh, that's not too bad. getting out of your mortgage, like getting your mortgage sorted. Now that's good times. Sorry, I was 40 a month ago. I asked for a big Lego set. I mean, there's still a load of unmade Lego from my son that we could get down and do, so I don't think I'm going to ask for Lego. I think I'm just going to not bother. It'll be alright. Sure, I'll have a takeaway or something. Me and Kel can have a takeaway or whatever. It'll be good. I'm sure it'll be lovely. I'm sure it'll be fun. 53 on Tuesday. Yikes. I mean, yikes, not that bad. Not that bad. That's what, 13 years older than me? It's fine. It's fine. Don't panic, because if you panic, you might die. Sorry. Don't panic. Multi-user shared hallucination. Oh, fancy. Very fancy. Given the action at some hot springs location late night. Oh, I see. Yes, the old. There was a lot of. I found a lot of the early internet had a sort of sexual undercurrent to it. Not in the same. Not like now, where. I mean, it is probably still like that for people who are teenagers. Now that I think about it, there's probably a reason everything was tinged with a sexual undercurrent between the ages of 12 and 29 or so. Everything seemed a little bit more that way. Co-founded one of the first ISPs in the UK, possibly the first one after Demon. Oh, okay, I remember Demon, yeah. My God. Polybius, isn't that a like a fictional game? Oh no, that's Petscop. I'm thinking of Petscop. Ask for a 6-pack of cider and a day playing CK3. I mean, I call those Saturdays. So, well, not with the cider, but you know what I mean. I could. Jeff Minter. Now, there's a name I haven't heard in a very long time. 79-80. Interesting year, I think. A lot of cool kids were born. A lot of cool kids were born, and I was one of them. Yeah, one-handed typing, super fast. You know, people who grew up at that period watching the internet. Watching the internet? Never mind. Pineapple cider. I always assumed cider was defined by being made with apples. But is it not? Is it not? Ooh. Because the new pear cider's called Perry. But or is that something completely different? Is that actually not what it is? What defines cider? If anyone knows, do let me know. Oh, I see. Mush Kids Brains. Glenfiddich 12 and a stogie. I just gave up smoking in January, so I don't think a cigar's going to be the best idea, unless you fill it with something else. And then there's Glenfiddich. Oh, I can't drink whiskey. I'll go for beer. A few beers, nice beers, and maybe some nice ciders, and that should do me. I'll be happy. Oh, okay, so he's releasing one that's kind of like a tribute to the fictional one. Interesting. There needs to be a new name for hard pineapple juice. That sounds like an album title, right? Tell me that's an album. Should it be called Pinny? Maybe. Pinny is... For some reason, I went blank for a second there because I was trying to think of a way to use the word panini and pinny and make something out of it, and it didn't work. It didn't work. A pineapple? I don't think a pineapple is an apple. That's an interesting point. You're right. Pineapple cider. It's true. I don't think it is an apple though, right? Now we're going down the what defines an apple route. Cider is an alcoholic beverage made from the fermented juice of apples, although the legal definition for other fruit ciders can differ from country to country. I've just realised this game hasn't paused, has it? What's happened to the moody boy? Is he still collecting his shit, or are we going to see a tantrum? Alright, okay. I think he's alright. He's not in the workshop, so it should be good. Should be fine. Should be fine. I'll keep looking at chat. It'll be alright. Pineapple got its name from the pine cone shaped fruit. Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Hard Pineapple Juice is an album of a meme metal band. That makes sense, I would say. I would say. That's true. Fermentation of fruit could get you a wine or a cider. Interesting. Sorry, I'm now staring at chat and going, oh, interesting facts. I'm just reading instead of saying anything. Terrible, terrible stream etiquette. Probably should have had this drink. Oh, pineapple's a berry. Intriguing. Oh, I've been thinking about getting into making fruit wine and stuff, because when I went to the LARP events up in Derby for ages, I always used to walk around with a holster carrying a fruit like wine bottle. That peach wine is amazing. Paul's fortress turned into accidentally neglected fortress. That is true. Here's our Moody Boy though. We're safe. Don't worry. Moody Boy's fine. Let's let it keep running. It'll be alright. My mum grew up on a pineapple farm. Now that sounds like the story, the beginning of an anecdote. That sounds like there's a story. There's got to be some story, at least one story coming out of my mum grew up on a pineapple farm. That sounds like the beginning of a folk song. Apple is an old word that just meant fruit. Ah, interesting. Pineapple is a torture implement. There's no way it's meant to be a fruit. I mean, that depends what way you put it in, right? Green end first, very much torture. Then again, there's plenty of lunatic Americans who are always surprised that everywhere else in the world cider is alcoholic and hard cider is a foreign USian concept. I've never heard the phrase hard cider outside of, like, if it's not got alcohol in it, it's just apple juice, right? Maybe? Maybe follow Moody Boy. Oh, come on, Sal. Stop with the crazy sense. What is this? It sounds like someone who's actually got some streaming experience giving good advice. It can't have any of this nonsense. Come on, Sal. Come on, Sal. Give me a break. You're making me look bad. I've lost him. I'll have to wait till he comes back to the thing, and then we'll give him a follow. We'll give him a follow so we actually have some activity taking place other than these little birdies up here tweeting around. Where are you? Where are you, Moody Boy? I was having a deep reverie. I was staring off into chat, having a good old read, having a good old stare. And now you're making my eyes flick back to the game. What is this alien nonsense? Playing Dwarf Fortress? That's not normal. Mind you, last couple of streams, there's been a fair amount of Playing Dwarf Fortress going on. I haven't just been gazing into chat like a gimp. A gimp? A gimp is not defined by its gazing. A gimp very much defined by its excessive amount of clothing and ball gag. So I'm definitely, it's not a gimpy stare. A gimpy stare would be sort of hidden behind zippers, probably. Ooh, that's what a gimp looks like. Sounds like, sorry. Come on, where are you? Moody Boy must be grabbing blocks again. I'm going down to the block stores to see if I can see him hauling something by hand when there's plenty of wheelbarrows available. Yeah? Are you down here? Where are you, you Moody Boy? Moody Boy, is he really moody or is it a ploy? No, I don't see him at all. Then again, my Pepega has been amplified by alcohol intake, so it's possible that we've seen him on numerous occasions and I've just failed to grok. Let's just look away for a minute. We'll be fine. It'll be fine. My God. Oh, hello. What's this? Pineapples take years to grow. Cider traditionally here in the US is a mulled apple juice. Ah, interesting. I've had a few hot ciders that were quite nice around Christmas times. Not a wine, but an actual cider. Pineapple was so hard to grow in the UK that there were aristocrats getting involved in dick-size wars about who could grow the most. Pineapple houses were heated by rotting manure. Ah. I mean, sure, that makes sense, but, I mean, is that what you want your fruit to smell of? Mind you, back in the old days, back in the day, everything smelled of shit, right? It was terrible. Cider traditionally here in the US, oh, I've already read that. There's a stately home up in Northumberland where the family were so proud of their pineapple house that the gateposts as you enter the estate have stone pineapples on top. If you get a train from London Bridge Station to Cannon Street, as you come out of the London Bridge and there's like a raised area of track going like up above to your side, if you look in the other direction, there's a shitload of pineapples on the buildings there. But there's loads of them. Loads of buildings in London have got little like decorative pineapples on. That must be why. I just see them a lot. That's all. Well, I used to when I went to London. What are you doing to me now, game? What are you doing to me now? I'll be with you in a minute, Dwarf Fortress. Stop being so bloody needy. I love that just watching dwarves walking around. I sometimes watch the bot stream just for that. I've never really gone into the bot stream. It's not been around for a little while, has it? Have they taken it down? The world's oldest gnome is near Northumberland. Do you mean like a garden gnome, or do you mean like as a sort of an autocorrective home? The main difference between American cider and apple juice is that cider is unfiltered and occasionally unpasteurized. Oh, intriguing. Like orange juice with bits in. Gimp has an older meaning than the leather rubber encased sex slave, though, scoundrel. Isn't it somebody who eats... Oh no, that's a geek. A geek is someone who eats anything in a stage show. What? I mean, frankly, the modern usage is preferable. Okay, maybe I won't... maybe I won't delve too deeply into that one. In that case, my fortress is getting a statue of a pillar and a pineapple. The pillar is raising the pineapple. Ah, that's not a bad idea, actually. We could have a pineapple in the no club. Everyone putting pineapples in their dwarf fortresses. What's this, Mr. Swerver? Have you decided not to continue playing for the evening? There we go, that's better. Excuse me. Yeah, be careful on that search, Sal. Be careful. You could come up with all manner of untoward nonsense. Oh, the game paused because an elven caravan from Kata Opeya has arrived. Incredible. Such excitement. It ripples through the fortress like a fart in a bath. Come on, lads. Everybody brace yourselves. The elves are coming. No doubt they'll have brought some... Well, they probably won't have brought books. They're illiterate cretins in this world. Hopefully they brought some interesting musical instruments, though. I've got a few little extra tools on hand, so it's not too bad. Hello, Righteous. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. A free Photoshop replacement. Oh, man. GIMP is a good bit of software. I do like GIMP. I like the fact that their logo is like a little weird dog thing with a paintbrush sticking out of its mouth as well, rather than someone with a ball gag. I don't think it would fly as well. I think fewer people would even delve shallowly into GIMP if that was the case. Is our Moody Boy still cracking? Oh, here we go. Look, Moody Boy's on his way back with a lump of orthoclase. That's probably orthoclase. Oh God! Now we've got to take our eyes off of him. He says, having not even looked at him for about 20 minutes, and go and check out what the elves are doing. Got to keep your eyes on the elves. They'll make off with all your logs if you're not careful, weeping and cradling them like babies. You killed my uncle. Oh, I'll get you. Oh, fuck off. I'll burn your forest retreat down. Noun, US and Canadian, offensive. Slang, a physically disabled person, especially one who is lame. Slang, a sexual fetishist who likes to be dominated and who dresses in leather or rubber bodysuit with a mask, zips and chain. You could be both then, I suppose. A tape-like trimming of silk, wool or cotton, often stiffened with wire. Interesting. So you could have a gimp who is also a gimp and has a gimp on their gimp suit? That's a lot of gimps. And then uses gimp to doctor the photos to make his GIMP suit look more impressive? A gimped up. GIMP my ride! Oh my goodness, now there's a show. You could have like enormous ball gags for the grill, you could have an enormous zipper that goes over the windshield. Oh my goodness. Oh, somebody call Exhibit. We've got to get this made. Do MTV still exist? Do they make TV shows? I mean, come on. GIMP my ride? No? Nobody? No executives in chat? Damn. Damn. Here's me thinking I was on top of the next $1 billion franchise. $1 billion? That's so optimistic. Oh, he's stopped. He's not getting stuff. Square blocks. Skeletons. Shining bars of metal. A quarry. Forest. Stacked leather. Square blocks. So what's he already got? Let's have a look at what he's already got here. Leather. Blocks. Stray ram bone, bronze bars, orthoclase, and so what has he not got there? It's wood, isn't it? Just as the elves turn up, we have to send someone out to go and chop down some fucking trees. Excellent news. Now, we've already got them designated for chopping, but no one's going. Oh, unless that's the cause of the vomit in the hallway, which I noticed somebody's cleaned up. Well done, somebody. Thank you very much. Maybe we need to send a wood chopper out, like, immediately. Because otherwise that lad downstairs is going to lose his marbles. He's going to go absolutely horseshit mental. And horses shit a whole load more than bats. So, god damn it, we don't want that to happen. Imagine horseshit raining down from the sky. That's not going to be any fun, is it? Although apparently batshit very good fertilizer and therefore very valuable throughout history. There were a lot of people who discovered like big mounds of guano and made good money off of it. What are you taking a bin away from the trade depot for, Fuzzy? What's the deal? Has all the trade goods been brought up? Let's see if they'll trade with us yet. Not yet, although we do need to call the trader. Old Jazz Hands is at it again, cavorting and lollygagging around the fortress. What a bastard. What an absolute git. My dad's vintage car has its bonnet held on with leather straps. Oh, heavens above. There is such a thing. Like, for some reason I'm now imagining those old-fashioned suspenders. Have I left the bottle right close up to that? I'm sorry. I do apologise. It could be a weird porn parody. In fact, I'd bet GIMP My Ride exists already. Maybe. I always... like the whole porn parody thing always seems to be a little bit... I don't know. It never seems to stray into the sort of strong BDSM realm. Then again, maybe I'm just not looking. I mean, that's possible. But it always feels a little... not tame, but you know what I mean? A little bit more goofy silly rather than, you know, I'm going to stick this up your bum kind of... Well, I mean... Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about something else. That's good. Well, I wasn't intending to shill for this beer, but it is only £1 a bottle in Sainsbury's, and it's quite nice. I like it. I like it a lot. Leather, blocks. Sounds like a weird variation of Boots and Cats. True. A very good use for beatboxing. Leather, blocks. Leather, blocks. I'm not sure my beatboxing is going to be that good, even if I try. Your elf traders keep bringing you wood, presumably grown wood, right? Where have we gone now? Why are we looking up here? Oh, hello, we've had a migrant arrive by the look of things. Some migrants! Oh my goodness, this is unusual. Normally we get one at a time these days. We'll have to check them out after the trade. We'll figure out what's going on then. Let's have a look and see what they've got. Excuse me. It's okay, just a little burpy burp. We'll buy their clay, just because we can. And we've got a whammo, a fakiki, a lache, a melema, a kuthabe, another whammo, another kuthabe, a fichichi, an ifi, a melema, a whammo, an ifi, a kithe. Okay, so interesting. Do we need to go through the musical instruments? Because I don't feel like these are any new ones here, right? These are new ones. Do I have a wood chopper? Neil or no Neil with Noel Edmonds. Is that like a hard BDSM porn parody then? I should check. I'm just going to go and have a look and see if we've got a wood chopper. I'll leave it in the trade screen and I'll go over to Dwarf Therapist and take a little peeky weeky, little cheeky breeky peeky, and see if I've got a wood chopper. In fact, also, let's go to Dwarf Therapist with you guys. You can come along. Wood chopper. In fact, let's go and look at the migrations, the new migration. 64 adults, 1 child and 0 vulnerable babies. We've now got 74 adults, 1 child and still 0 vulnerable babies. This entire fortress has been highly infertile. I'm a little bit concerned. There might be something in the water. Stone crafting, meh. Glazing, bleh. What's this? Bowery. There's nothing very exciting happening over here. Let's have a look at the military tab. We've got a couple of killers. What have you killed, Lickot? 20 goblins and 5 monsters of galley confined. Nice. And how about you? What have you killed? 10 goblins, 8 Eriths or Eriths warriors, and 5 trolls, 2 dogs. Oh, exciting. Okay. So these guys look like they could be drafted quite easily. Hammer dwarves, going to go very well in our military, but we're not going to conscript them just yet. We'll let them be for now. We'll let it lie. They're an unexciting bunch, so maybe I'll just activate... Oh, I can't activate anything on them anyway. Right, wood chopper. Where were we? Wood cutter. Let's also sort by nothing, so we don't end up only looking at 1 migration wave's worth of wood choppers. Ah! Intriguing. We only have a dabbling woodcutter, old Harry Beaver, currently watching a growing demonstration. The demonstration just keeps getting bigger and bigger. In that case, maybe I should bang a few more woodcutters in. How many carpenters have we got? Carpentoids. Let's make all of our carpenters also woodcutters, and thereby solving the wood flow problem. Nice. Okay, back over to Dwarf Fortress. Let's... clicky clicky. Let's get that out of the way. There we go. If Noel's involved, it's a hard no kneel from me. Oh my goodness. Poor old Noley. Not that I'm particularly a fan of him. What about Noel's eel or no eel? Is that just a series of boxes that might have an eel in? Because I feel like you're going to have a hard time concealing which one has the eel in. They can be a bit feisty. They can jiggle around quite a bit. That's going to be a tough one to do. Noel's involved. The only choice involved was in terms of positioning. Bonus DVD featuring Keith Chegwin. Ripperoni and Pepperoni. What a lad. Do you remember that programme he did where he took all his clothes off on Channel 4? Incredible. I wonder if Toady will ever make wells dug into lead or poison the dwarves. Maybe. I don't feel like that's something that is that's gonna be something that sort of emerges from the code. I feel like he's gonna make lead poisonous, and then that will result in people digging wells through poisonous materials, like old what's the red stuff? Cinnabar. That's ludicrously poisonous in the real world. Anyway, where were we? We were looking at the musical instruments. I may have had a bit too much to drink to be fannying around with musical instruments, but if people are really keen, we can try and figure out what they sound like. I mean, I'm entirely down for that, but I'm going to wait for people to request for now. Let's buy a black bear. Presumably it will be fun to train in some way. I'm not buying a groundhog, I'm not buying a male cardinal. I've already got a female, and if her eggs start getting fertilised, that's less boilers for me. And I love a good boiler. Mind you, I love a good scramble too. I'm an egg fan. Not seeing much else in terms of exciting animals. A wolf! Okay, we'll buy the wolf. Dinner for wolf, as they say in Conan. A giant moth. Really? Okay, I'll buy the giant moth. 510 trade credits? Whatever. Oh, a giant eagle? Oh man. I'm going to get all my rings thrown into Mount Doom super easy. What else have we got? A boar. Do I want to buy a boar? I don't think I do. Flying squirrel? It's not that exciting. It's not that exciting. Wooden barrels, buckets, long swords made of wood. Yeah, I'll buy those, because I'm a fucking idiot. What are you doing? Stop bringing this shit. Grown Ramie socks, jute shoes, ginkgo wood low boots. They should put brackets useless after all this crap. Nonsense. Cotton hood, grown highwood cap, Ramie reed headscarves. By the way, anybody not watching Lovecraft Country should really get on that. That has been pretty damn good. The second episode made me go, is this going to be going downhill already? And then everything picked up again. It's exciting stuff. Well worth a peek. What else we got here? Arrows, meh. Crowns, hazelnuts, acorns, ginkgo seeds, walnuts, plums, pears, peaches, persimmons. Oh, look at that, all that fruit, which we can make cider, wine from? I don't know. It'll make good booze, that's all I know. Hemp trousers, pear wood greaves, sagaro wood leggings, splints and crutches. Let's buy those, may as well. Ober melody pipes, Iffy wind chest. Iffy wind chest sounds like a character in a fantasy novel. Grown apricot wood whammo body. Let's have a little look at chat and see what people are saying. Debated. That's me looking at British pop culture jokes, not getting any of them. Oh, poor old Righteous. Poor old Righteous. Don't worry. Don't worry. I mean, at least we've, given all the countries back. That's one that everyone can get right. Maybe. Hello, Two Cats Yelling. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I am the egg fan cuckoo cuckoo. That's right. I am. Sam Raimi socks now. If they could give me the filmmaking skills of Sam Raimi, I'd be all over it. Acorns are poisonous, aren't they? Are they? Are they? I don't think they're palatable, but I don't know if they're poisonous. Whilst these days acorn recipes are mostly associated with Native Americans, they were a part of the traditional food supply in Greece, Italy. Yeah, I've definitely heard of people eating acorns, but not ideally. It's not a nice food. They're edible, but not palatable. That's true. We should probably try and go for more international memes, because it's not fair to just make this a special stream for UK people. That's not fair at all. We need to think more about the people who are born elsewhere in this glorious world. Quartzite mugs, rated green glass disc. Sure, why not? I don't think we've got any of the crappy clothes brought up here, have we? God damn it. They're already in profit. The hell? Oh, I'm only buying a grand's worth of shit. The elves never bring anything exciting. I mean, some of those animals are interesting enough, but generally speaking, they're a bit shit, aren't they? Bloody elves. Bloody elves, am I right? Okay, so now we've enabled some of our lads to do some wood chopping. Hopefully they'll head outside and start swinging those axes. That's what we want. A nice chip-chop, chippity-chop. Chop? Okay, that didn't go where I was hoping it would go. Squirrels would be dying left and right if that were true. While I see where you're going with that, Single, by the way, welcome back, thanks for joining us. There are plenty of things that certain animals can eat that other animals can't, aren't there? Like, dogs aren't supposed to eat chocolate because it's not good for them, apparently. Doesn't seem to kill them when I try, though. Pigs can eat tons of shit as well. Not actually poisonous shit, I don't think. They're quite close to people, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Spanish pigs fed on acorns, then killed and turned into expensive ham are bloody delicious. I can imagine. But they do like a good cured meat in Spain, don't they? And by cured, of course, I mean smoked or dried rather than brought back to life. That's not what you want. You don't want a pig jumping up on your table and like herring off down, taking the tablecloth with it. That's madness. Eating apple pips. Now, apple pips can be poisonous. If you eat enough apple pips, they've got cyanide in. It's a small amount, but I believe you can poison yourself like badly with just apple pips. You may need to eat bin bags full of them, but it's possible. It's possible. Did we conquer Egypt? I don't think we conquered Egypt. I think the term is more accurately stealing. Just stole it for a little while. Conquering involves all sorts of extra work. Just rolling up and saying, "Oh, that's ours, yoink." That's mainly what happened, I think. Or I could be wrong though. I'm not a historian. Maybe it's horses they're poisonous to. For a second there I read that as maybe it's horses, they're poisonous too, which of course doesn't make any sense. Squirrels die left and right round here because they're suicidal, says Two Cats Yelling. What, not very good at crossing roads, or what are we talking about? That's alright, Single. When people talk in chat, it's like they appear suddenly. Otherwise, they're just shadowy forms hanging around. And I can't really say hello to a shadowy form. Also, it's rude to say hello to lurkers, apparently. I don't fully understand it, but I'm not going to do it. I try not to call out lurkers, even people who follow. Because, you know, if it's rude, why would I do that? Why would I do that? It would take a literal ton, says Beardster. I'm assuming that's about the apple seeds. Leopards can eat rotten meat. When they're full, they drag the carcass into a tree where the lions and hyenas can't get it and just leave it. Oh, okay. Our horses are poisoned by oak. Well, there we go. Poisoned by acorns. Who knew? Obviously some people, otherwise there'd be a lot more dead horses. That's true. Bananas are radioactive, but you would need to eat a shitload of them to get, like, you know, when the wind blows hair. That wouldn't work. I mean, it's technically a... Sorry, that's another UK meme, isn't it? If you don't know about the film When the Wind Blows, I wouldn't watch it, to be honest. It's depressing as fuck. But, you know, it's got David Bowie in it. So maybe watch it. I don't know. It's up to you. It's a very depressing animation. I mean, it's technically a conker, but the tech gap was so large it wasn't even remotely a fair fight. Yeah, but that's not colonialism. If it's a fair fight, that's just a war. Colonialism is when it's not a fair fight. You go around looking for non-fair fights. That's how it works. Horses are venomous, but humans are immune as we're both descended from centaurs. Ah, right. Also, they've got very blunt teeth. It's hard to break the surface of the skin with horse teeth. You have to really champ down so the venom can't get in. They play chicken and lose because they're not chickens. Chickens are smart enough to actually cross the road. And they're legendary for it. Legendary in human humour. You'd be dead of something else before you got large enough radiation dose from bananas to do you any harm. Almost certainly. I mean, you'd turn yellow, I guess. Maybe, like Homer Simpson. I don't know. I always say hello to lurking followers, says Sal. Oh, okay. I saw him get the wood. Very carefully, I said the wood. Remember, I'm not talking about anything else. Well, apparently that's rude, Sal, but I don't know. Yeah, watch Labyrinth instead. That's probably a more... Oh, actually, no, if you're going to watch Labyrinth and you haven't seen Dark Crystal, watch Dark Crystal. That's peak Jim Henson, in my opinion. That's a fantastic movie. I still haven't finished the TV series yet. I've got to go back and finish it off. We stopped watching it so that my son could catch up and watch it with us, and he's got to like half an hour before where we are and stopped watching it, and now we're sort of like just forgotten what's going on. It's really annoying. Good though. Oh, yes, Telia, you're right. Labyrinth does have David Bowie in it. That's true. It's a great film, draws you in, then changes the rules like Doki Doki Literature Club. Which one are we talking about here? Labyrinth? When the Wind Blows? Or... Actually, no, that you're right, it is When the Wind Blows. When the Wind Blows is very much like Doki Doki Literature Club. Or, have you seen... what's that anime? It's called When They Cry, or something like that. When the Cicadas Cry. That's bizarre. It takes ages to figure out what's going on. You're just watching episode after episode going, well, what's happening? Are these episodes... Is this the same episode again? Wait, no, this is different. What's happening? That's got a similar kind of vibe. True, potassium poisoning, dangerous, wouldn't want that. It was Raymond Briggs, yes. Dark Crystal messed me up as a kid. I had a nightmare just from looking at the back of the video case in a Woolworths. I saw the back, and then that night I had nightmares that I had made a potato girl pregnant under the water, like one of the podlings, but I didn't, because I hadn't watched it. I'd only looked at the back of the video. I thought they were potatoes, and I dreamt that I'd made potato girl pregnant, and I was being hounded through underground tunnels with people trying to get me to turn into a potato so I could look after the baby. Horrible nightmare. Didn't make any sense, obviously, but horrible nightmare nonetheless. Excuse me. Can't know how old I was there. It must have been really early. When did Dark Crystal come out on VHS? I might have been single-digit age there. Jennifer Connelly in Labyrinth. Oh, heavens above. Now there's a childhood memory. Boing. Excuse me. The Muppet Show was Jim Henson. Sorry. I think we're coming at it from different angles. I thought the Muppets were okay as a kid, but I've never been a massive fan. Honestly, Sesame Street, a little bit better than the Muppet Show in my opinion. Certainly lasted longer. But Dark Crystal's a masterpiece. It's an absolute masterpiece. Oh, Fraggle Rock though. Oh yeah, there is Fraggle Rock. Higurashi When They Cry. That's the one, Weirus. That's the one. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I remember that. Good, interesting anime, but don't go into it. Don't go into it too blind. No, it was a nightmare. I didn't have sex with a potato. Besides, when I had this nightmare, I was only very vaguely aware of the mechanics involved with getting somebody pregnant. I was very much a virgin. The US didn't see all of the Muppet shows that the UK did because of our laws on maximum amount of advertising. We had more Muppets, less adverts. I remember hearing that, yeah. They actually had to film special segments for the UK to fill out the runtime. Okay, interesting. Didn't know about the music rights thing, though. I just showed my 2-year-old Pigs in Space today. I forgot how sexist the Muppets were. I mean, it was the time, wasn't it? It was, what, the late 70s? Mid to late 70s? And then did they carry on into the 80s? Or I'm not sure. But, I mean, a lot of stuff from back then is, you know... It has a different feel to it. It doesn't feel quite so cool. The Muppet Show is better as an adult than as a kid. Oh, maybe I should look back. Look like Gelfling. Smells like Gelfling. Oh no, it isn't. That's not the. That's not that one who says it, is it? It's the other one. Smells like Gelfling. Your potato nightmare reminds me of a blind date. Oh my goodness, you got a potato pregnant on a blind date. That's worrying. The Storyteller. Oh yes, I remember that with Rick Mayall sitting on the chair with chicken legs. Do you remember that? The chair had chicken legs, not Rick Mayall. That was very good. Man, I keep forgetting how much Jim Henson did. I remember Dark Crystal and the Muppets, and then everything else sort of fades into the background when it really shouldn't. It's very good. Animal Hospital with Rolf trying to work out where the narration's coming from makes me laugh every time. Animal Hospital? Is that a Muppets one? I don't know that one. Because surely because there is a show, Animal Hospital, with Rolf Harris in. But, I mean, he's fallen from grace, hasn't he? Oh, I'm sorry, Righteous. Let's try and move away from pop culture references. Let's try and stop one-upping each other on our old people memories. Because eventually we'll be sitting in old people's home losing them. No. Oh no! Oh no, maybe not. I mean, some of us might die. Okay, where were we? We're waiting for the mood to conclude, and I believe, the conclusion has come forward, taken place, occurred, has become a thing. What's all this shit growing on the floor? Dimple cups? Dead sweet pods? Young fungi wood? Dead cave wheat? So there's tons of fucking food growing in here. We could have people in here harvesting it. We've got fucking plump helmets growing randomly all over the place. I didn't realise. I mean, we should either send people in there to harvest them or put some flooring down to stop them growing through, right? Feels like we've got a little bit of missed stuff here. I like the two-headed creature that just went meep a lot. Oh, I remember. Yes. Different animal hospital with a different spelling of Rolf. I should have noticed that. Can you see what it is yet? It's my penis. Sorry. Looking forward to the retirement home land parties. Oh yeah, man. It's going to be much better being old, isn't it? Like, people who grew up during, who are old now, they've got a rough time of it. All these glories of the modern era, they can't handle. Whereas I feel like we're going to be sitting there with our iPhone 20s and our 300-inch screens in a pair of goggles and living it up, loving it, you know? I'm looking forward to it. Very much. Man, lovely old memories of puppets. Puppets haven't been a huge thing lately, have they? I mean, we've had, mind you, when are they ever a huge thing? There's not that much. I mean, at the point you're deciding that you want to use puppets in your thing, it's because you've got like puppeteering skills and you can't be bothered with animation because it's too slow. Maybe I should get a puppet for the stream. Richard Herring's got a puppet, I've noticed. He's been doing Twitch streams with a 200-year-old papier-mâché dummy, which is, good. He's actually not bad at doing his ventriloquism. He's half decent. It'd be interesting to see if he turns it into a live show, though. Very odd. I hated puppets as a kid. I remember going on holiday in France once, and the puppeteer at this Park Luna place had like a puppet that he went whoa and swung out over the audience, and my sister was the age of the appropriate for the audience. I was an older kid in the audience, and he did that, and I screamed and ran out, and I was terrified. I was a very fragile child. Terrible. Jeff Dunham. I mean, yeah, he has got a puppet, but I don't know. I'm not so keen on Jeff Dunham. He doesn't make me laugh. A new spitting image. Some of the spitting image stuff is, I don't know. It feels a little. Some of it could be a little bit unnecessarily cruel to people who weren't in politics and stuff. Sometimes you just feel, pick on the politicians, man. Then again, it was a very long time ago, and I don't remember much other than all the lyrics to the chicken song. Hold a chicken in the air, stick a Dexter up your nose, buy a jumbo jet, and they'll bury all your clothes. Paint your left knee green and extract your wisdom teeth. Form a string quartet and pretend your name is Keith. Hold a chicken in the air, stick a Dexter up your nose, and then it continues. Anyway, Erdem Ushirazal the Potter has created Nisunsutel Odkishdassel, a bulky Drownsteam's hound leather. Schaus. He claims it as a family heirloom. Let's take a look at this hound leather Schaus and see what it's like. Warning Shield, the Fern of Heaven, a bulky Drownesteam's hound leather Schaus. Schaus, whatever. It's worth 18 grand, and considering it's a leather thing, that's pretty impressive. This is a bulky Drownesteam's hound leather Schaus. All crafts dwarfship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with round talc cabochons and decorated with Drownesteam's hound leather and sheep bone. This object menaces with spikes of orthoclase and persimmon wood. On the item is an image of dwarves in echidna leather. The dwarves are travelling. The artwork relates to the foundation of Cryptbeards by the bearded machine of the triangular town in the early spring of 500. On the item is an image of Stackwood Stake Judge, the dwarf, in gypsum. Stackwood Stake Judge is making a plaintive gesture. The artwork relates to the drowning of the dwarf Stackwood Stake Judge in the murk of harmonies in the early winter of 500. On the item is an image of an oval-cut gem in bismuth bronze. On the item is an image of finger-lime trees in orthoclase. Oh, okay. There's nothing exciting about it, is there? Other than the mystery of what the fuck is a Schaus. I mean, I know I've had it explained to me. It's a kind of skirt, isn't it? A little bit of a, sort of like a Is it like a Roman soldier skirt? Or am I crazy? Ah, Thunderbirds. Now that's good. I was a cowardly custard. I was an exceptionally cowardly child. I really was. We grew up in a time when technology was still a thing that you could figure out without a college degree. I remember copying code from a book into my Commodore 64 to make a game. Oh, I remember that. You'd have to go through page after page after page of stuff. Super Mario Nation. Oh my god, I absolutely love Jerry Anderson stuff. Every time I try and sculpt a human face from reference, it always ends up looking like a Captain Scarlet puppet. I did Angori Tom a little while ago, and it looks so like it should be a puppet. I'm sounding like old people. That's fine. I would stop watching when my parents would put on Sesame Street. I'll tell you what, I was terrified of Stingray. Those flat-topped, the baddies that talk like this. When we try Tempest. Those ones. Oh god, they scared the shit out of me. Oh, the Ultimate Terror. Does everyone remember Zelda from Terrorhawks? Now that fucking filled my pants with shit. I was horrified by that. Whenever it came on, I was hiding behind the sofa. Absolutely terrifying. Did you say schuss? Because that's... Or shoes? Because that's... Shoes is a type of footwear for sure, Alceris. But I'm not sure how to pronounce it, I have to say. I don't know how it's pronounced. Soft, sort of like cowboy chaps. Oh, so sort of like inner thigh protectors for horse riding? Maybe? Puppets of cephalopods. Oh, I do love a good cephalopod puppet. I mean, the thing about cephalopods is, although they terrify me because of their boneless, horrific nature, they're also fascinating. They're incredibly interesting creatures. Your squids, your octopi, your cuttlefish, your nautiluses. They're all very, very interesting and have remarkable characteristics that draw you in to learn more. But if I was physically near one and it reached out to touch me, I would freak the fuck out. And don't get me started on jellyfish. God, I hate jellyfish. I think I've told the story before, but again, on holiday once, I think in France with my family, but it may have actually been in Wales. I'm not sure. The memory is a bit vague. We walked over a bridge that went over a river that came in from an estuary, from like a dock that you could see. And the water below the bridge was so packed with jellyfish, it just looked like a big pile of jellyfish rather than an actual river. And I couldn't cross the river. I couldn't cross the bridge. I was fucking shitting myself. Horrific. Absolute terror. But then, there you go. That's my childhood. That's how things were for me. The claw in Thunderbirds was just a Ken Campbell lookalike. Oh, pictures of shusses. Okay, this should be good. I the first Google of the evening, and I didn't even do it. Oh, right. Yes. Medieval bumming trousers. Okay, now I get you. That makes a lot of sense. Man. I mean, once you're wearing these at your live roleplay event, you've gone too far. I mean, you could just have a baggy shirt go over the top of a pair with an elasticated waistband. It'll be fine. No one's going to call you out. No one's going to have a go. Oh, someone might. You never know. Chainmail maybe makes more sense. Keep that weight down. But also, once you're wearing chainmail where there's no protection over your groin or your upper inside leg, that's a lot of artery space that could get slashed, right? There's a very big artery running up the inside of your leg, which you do not want to get slashed. That feels like a good spot for some chainmail. Then again, do you want the wrinkles of your scrotum getting caught up in the chainmail and being sort of tugged further and further down your leg until they ping off like an undersized shower cap? I don't know. I feel like there's downsides to that as well. Anyway, let's have a look. See also the aliens in Arrival. I'm of two minds about Arrival. I liked a lot of the stuff in Arrival. I like the ideas of the aliens. I liked all that stuff. But the framing story, I thought was like, oh, God, do I care? I want something a little bit less like that and more to do with the sci-fi stuff. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. I saw you in Dark Souls not enjoying the slime monsters. I do not like Things Without Bones. No, you're quite right, Druids Mead. Well remembered. Things Without Bones creep me out a hell of a lot. Jellyfish is delicious. Bit of sesame oil, some chili, maybe some black vinegar. Intriguing. I would be tempted to try, but maybe not. I've never had the balls to eat snails, which really freak me out. I hate snails and slugs, which is weird because I have had like winkles, mussels and stuff like that, seafood. I don't know why the idea of eating them as seafood doesn't freak me out, but the idea of eating snails makes me feel just touching them. The idea of touching them makes me feel bad. But hey-oh, maybe I'm just a fussy eater. Where did your fear of the boneless come from? I don't know, Claycree. It's always been a thing. I used to be afraid of like worms and stuff when Mum and Dad were digging in the garden and they'd pull out a worm to show me. It used to freak me out. Now I'm not so much. Wouldn't want to tread on one barefoot or really touch one, but I could hold a worm in my hand without freaking out. Whereas if you put a slug in my hand, my heart rate would go up quite a lot. And I might try and pretend I wasn't freaking out, but fucking hell, I would. I damn well would. Spiders, snakes, don't bother me. Slugs, snails, totally harmless creatures like that, terrified. Let's have a look. Is sexy chainmail a thing? Tina Turner didn't do the look any favours in Thunderdome. I've seen people look sexy in chainmail. I've definitely seen it. If you look at all the chainmail bikinis in evidence on the 70s fantasy paperback covers, apparently so. There is that. But I've seen people wearing chainmail bikinis IRL, which was quite the eye-opener as a young, innocent man. Well, innocent. Excalibur. Yes, I remember that. Yeah. I was never the hugest fan of the film Excalibur. It's okay, I like it, but it's not one of my all-time greats. I know some people really rate it. I preferred a bit of Rutger Hauer in Blood and Steel. Or what other great fantasy movies are there from that period? To be honest, fantasy movies really started to get good like around the Lord of the Rings period, right? I don't think some fantasy movies have been taken seriously before, but Lord of the Rings was the first time they really went, oh, this is art, this is amazing. The way the understanding of the framing story lands is really powerful, more so because of how ordinary it initially appears. I admit, it's classic Christopher Nolan cleverness, but I would have preferred... I didn't care about the mystery of what was happening as such. When it happened at the end, I was like, tell me more about the aliens. I'm more interested in that. That's what this film is about for me. Whereas the actual story is not so good. Again, Christopher Nolan, I like some of his films, a lot. But generally speaking, I'm not a massive fan. I'm not keen on the Batman movies he did. I don't understand why people rate them quite so highly. Inception is good. The Prestige is a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen The Prestige, don't look it up. Don't get any spoilers. It's good. It's good. It's about magicians in the Victorian era, I think. Historical magicians. It's very good, though. I would really recommend that one. Did he do Memento as well? That was pretty good. My English teacher let us watch Excalibur in my senior year of high school. Blimey. I'm not sure it's an English lesson piece, but oh well. It sounds like a fun lesson. Isn't there some gratuitous nudity front and centre early on in that film? I mean, it depends on what you think is gratuitous. We saw a version of Romeo and Juliet, Roman Polanski's Romeo and Juliet, and that's got a boob in it. And I went to an all-boys school, and when you put a boob on a screen in an all-boys school, chaos ensues. There was an audible gasp, and then a sort of like a dunk 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 as people start hitting the desks. Oh god, what a day. What a day. I'm not scared of slugs and snails, says Alceris. They're just gross. I mean, they are gross, but I literally get chills. I'm presuming that's how people who are scared of spiders feel when they see them. Like I can freeze, and if they touch me without me realising, and then I notice they've touched me, horrifying, yuck. Did I ever see Hawk the Slayer? The name rings a bell, but I don't think I have seen it, no. It can't be lower quality than a nymphoid barbarian in Dinosaur Hell, though. That was pretty rough. There's some full frontal, but it's not much. It's still surprising to see in school. Well, yeah, you know, like nudity in school. Well, on video at least. Very exciting. Arrival. Oh no, Arrival's Denis Villeneuve, isn't it? The guy who's doing thing. See, Arrival is the one film of his that I'm looking forward to Dune, but I enjoyed the Blade Runner 2049, whatever it was called. What else has Denis Villeneuve done that I've seen? Arrival, which again, not so much on the story front. Then again, character stuff isn't really my strong point. Oh yeah, David Bowie's in there as well. Yeah, that's right. He's in thingy, The Prestige. That's the one. My elementary school played Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure for us, presumably to teach us history. To be honest, on the very last day of my primary school, which was one of those everyone brings in games and we all watch a movie, I didn't get to go because I had chicken pox, but I had been the one who'd been allowed to choose the movie, and I got them to play Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and apparently it was great, but I never knew because I was at home all chicken poxed up. I have refused to go into rooms for extended periods of time after spotting a spider, even if it gets killed, so I can absolutely sympathise with that sort of terror. See, that's the thing. Both the kids and Kel scared to shit of spiders, but I'm not at all. I'll just grab him with my hands and yoink him out the window. Occasionally I do the whole get the web and then try to stop it from getting down to the floor by just winding it up as it goes down. Then you can get it out the door. But yeah, the spider's not a problem. They're dry. Dry stuff doesn't bother me too much. It's the wetness of snails and slugs and jellyfish and that gets me. Yuck. Yucky, yucky. I used to get home from work to find the vacuum cleaner in the garden. Ex-boyfriend with the spider fear. I mean, surely by the time it's gone up the vacuum, that's it's no longer a spider. That's a ball and some separate legs, right? Once it's gone up there, it's got to be dead, right? Or maybe not. Maybe they survive it. Maybe they survive it. I like Lynch's Dune, but watching a 17mm print of that at the Empire Leicester Square, biggest screen in London at the time, probably had something to do with it. David Lynch's Dune it's interesting. It's worth watching if you're interested in that kind of thing. But I don't know. I wish it had ended up being made by what's his name? Alien, Black Hawk Down, Ridley Scott. I wish it had ended up being made by Ridley Scott because I don't know. I feel like Ridley Scott's Dune would have been better than David Lynch's Dune. Because when you say David Lynch's Dune and you haven't seen David Lynch's Dune, but you know who David Lynch is, you're like, oh, that sounds great. And then you watch it and go, I mean, it looks quite good in places, but I don't know. The special effects are not, for the spaceships at least, are not what you would hope from a blockbuster movie of the period. It's good. Oh wait, we had a tantrum. Oh shite. Although look at the numbers. Look, the unhappiness numbers are going down. I like it. Spiders and snakes absolutely terrify me. Well, I mean, I can understand being terrified of animals, but neither of them actually worry me. Venomous snakes, obviously, I'm wary of them. I'm not like, oh, I don't mind, touch, pick up, throw. And also, a snake that could crush me, I'm sensibly, like, wary of, but not afraid. Nothing bothers me about the idea of touching snakes and whatnot. Brother found a grass snake on his bookcase. I tell you what, I went to a stately home. I think it was Penshurst Abbey or something. Very good, elaborate stately home. We never actually went inside it. We just went around the grounds all day, which was plenty. But my nan sat down in some grass to have a picnic with us, and then suddenly she jumped up and started going, woo, woo, woo! And I was like, what's going on? And she shook a slow worm out of her. It might have been a grass snake, some kind of reptile with no legs. She shook it out of her trouser leg. It had gone straight up there and started heading towards her nether regions. Unbelievable. It's very unlike a David Lynch film, but incoherently edited. The editing is chaotic in that game, to be honest. Film. But, to be honest, my favourite David Lynch film is, I think, his least Lynchian film of all. It's The Elephant Man. That's an incredible film. Absolutely fantastic. Yet, it doesn't really carry much in the way of his sort of trademark style or his hallmarks. It's a very straight down the line movie as far as I can see, very sort of restrained, doesn't have his usual sort of dreamy spacey stuff going on. Not spacey, you know what I mean, spaced out rather than spaceships. Yeah, let me pause quickly and we'll go over it, Druid's Mead. I believe this is a DF hack thing. But basically it shows like your very happiest dwarves are here, going down, medium happiness, like everyone's pretty much neutral here, and then it goes down into the lower categories where you've got your most unhappy, moody dwarves here. So, I mean, realistically, our distribution is quite tight around the centre. Yeah, sure, there are more unhappy dwarves than there are extra happy dwarves, but not that many of them, right? Although, having said that, if we're getting tantrums, as Sal says, then maybe, just maybe, we need to be killing some people. Dingo Dong Rigathuva, the fish cleaner. Ah, are you then? You're throwing a tantrum in the corridor. Why? What's happening in the corridor that makes that worthwhile? Excuse me. Hiccuping away here. Excuse me. Dear, oh dear. Some amazing physical effects in play with June. Lots of forced perspective based stuff. Apparently Lynch wasn't really into blue screen, so lots was done in camera. Ah, right, okay. That kind of makes sense, but I don't know. I feel like the effects in that film could have worked better. It was a bit early for those level of effects. I'm excited to see what Villeneuve ends up doing with it, because like eye replacements now and stuff are just easy peasy. So I could do that in Blender. So I think a lot of the stuff that was otherwise really quite a showstopper in the 80s is going to be a lot easier. Then again, Jodorowsky's Dune, that would have been nice to see, and I reckon that would have been a mad feast for the senses. Then again, the documentary is almost as good as it would have been, I reckon. I'm quite happy around snakes, but I wouldn't like anything running up my trouser leg uninvited. Well, I mean, I don't think anybody's too keen on sudden trouser leg intrusion. It's always a bit of a shocker no matter what's doing it. I'm fine with snakes so long as they stay a continent away. Oh, blimey. That's a long way. I'm also fine with tigers on the same principle. As long as they have to swim to get to me over a saltwater body, I'm fine. I'm fine. That's actually, thinking about it, there's plenty of zoos and safari parks in the UK where they have tigers, so maybe I'm in imminent danger. It's possible. Uninvited trouser snakes, definitely not a good idea. True. Very true. Always wait for permission. Hello, Ozone. Welcome back. You fucking muppet, etc. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. Also, it was a De Laurentiis film, and he was a notorious cheapskate. Oh, of course he was, yeah. What was his... there's a load of, there are a load of classic films that came out of his production house, though. I mean, Army of Darkness is a De Laurentiis, and I'm trying to think of other ones. It escapes me. Jodorowsky is my guy. He's 90 and living his best life dancing in public and shit. He's probably off his fucking tits a lot of the time as well, from the sound of it. Interesting fellow though. If you haven't seen The Holy Mountain, now there's a tough watch. I recommend giving it a crack, but don't go to a cinema to see it. Go somewhere where you can pause or skip forward or backwards if you need to. But I mean, don't strap yourself in for the whole thing, because you're gonna. Oh my god, it's strange. It's an unusual film. Good, but you might want to be able to take breaks. Speaking of which, I'm going to need to take a break in a minute. We've been going for 1 hour and 3/4, and my bladder is well over 3/4 full. In fact, I would suggest it's somewhere in the region of about 104% full. So maybe I'll be taking a break in a minute. We'll see. What time is it? It's only 1:15. We've got plenty of time. Plenty of time, and of course, plenty of Fortress, because I've sat here jabbering away with chat and played basically no Dwarf Fortress all night, and frankly, we were onto a good thing where I was actually able to play Dwarf Fortress before. We did a few sessions where I got a little bit of progress, and I liked it. I got a taste for Dwarf Fortress, and now look at me, a blithering idiot sitting there gazing at chat and wibbly warbling on and on. It looks like we're getting training in the barracks now, though, which is nice. What are you up to? Watching a fighting demonstration. Nice. What about you? What are you doing up here? Leading a wrestling demonstration. Nice. Very nice. Maybe it's time to start making their leather training uniforms. If we go down to the... tell you what, after the break, we're doing stockpiles for clothing so that we can make sure they come straight off of the production line and aren't tatty shit that people are chucking in there. And we're going to do leather armour for training, including a uniform, and I'm going to look into making fresh new armour for my lads. How does that sound? Does that sound good? Art done by Moebius. There was, oh my god, if anyone has seen, or hasn't seen rather, what's that film, set on a space station with loads of planets, The City of 1,000 Planets. If you haven't seen that film, visually it's incredible. Every frame is just packed with so much care and attention, but the story and the acting in it are, ugh. I mean, it's the main actor in it is catastrophically miscast. Catastrophically. I mean, I saw him in A Cure for Wellness. Fantastic movie, really works in that. But in City of 1,000 Planets, whoa, why? Why? What have you done? How did you get this role? Let's have a look. Oh, I've got Incal sitting around. I've got to sit down and actually get round to reading it, though. I will eventually. I will get there. Horizontally. I've missed something there. Confusing. Have I seen Knives Out? I have seen Knives Out, and I thought it was quite good. Although I didn't feel that the reveal was predictable enough. For that kind of movie, I want to be able to look back and go, I could have figured this out from the beginning. And I don't think it has that. I don't think it has that sort of... The murder mystery, I think, for me at least, particularly, is best when all the evidence is available for you to figure it out, and somehow it sort of stops you from doing so. Anyway, let's keep going down it. Maybe start digging out the permanent fortress. Not the worst idea. We could start doing that. A full bladder is supposed to be good for decision making. Oh, interesting. He got a taste for Dwarf Fortress, and now look at him. Doctors hate him. He also used to be a German and have less hair. My goodness. Me? Question mark. I'm confused. What's the combat report? I don't know. Let's have a look. Oh, game. Calm down. Sparring. A cat is fighting. Dingo Dong. That was the guy, wasn't it? He was basically fighting a cat. Yeah, it looks like he just got into a little bit of a fracas with a fish cleaner and a cat, but it's alright. Oh wait, no, he fought a mason as well. Okay, it's not ideal. It's not ideal having Tantrum Lad trotting around, but there we go. I've paused it. More miscast than Topper Grace as Eddie Brock. Question mark? Venom. The Venom movie had what's his name in it? Out of Mad Max Fury Road, didn't it? Is that? Am I missing something? Has there been another Venom movie? Intriguing. Unless that's a different thing, I only know of one Holy Mountain. Oh, it's probably not a different thing. I have not sat down and watched that whole film in one go. Me and a mate gave it and Zardoz a double bill, and for both of them we ended up just skipping through going, what the hell is this? Amazing. Spider-Man 3. Oh, is Venom in that? I didn't know that. Interesting. I quite like the new Spider-Man, actually. I thought that was pretty good. Very enjoyable. Anyway, let's, because I'm going to take a break, let's pause Simon Swirler, go over to the home screen. What a slapdash stream it's been this evening. What a terrible madness. And I'm going to put some music on that hopefully you will enjoy. That movie no longer exists for me. Oh my goodness. I do love Sam Raimi. I am a big Sam Raimi fan. His Spider-Man movies really did it for me. The first two, at least. Then again, I don't know if I watched the third one. I might have somehow strayed away. I did. What was that horror film he did after the Spider-Man films? Drag Me to Hell. That was surprisingly good. I wasn't expecting to enjoy that, but really well good. Into the Spider-Verse was amazing. I mean, that's probably the animated film of the year it came out in. Pretty much no matter what else was released. Then again, there's been, just careful mental check to make sure I'm not hyperbolizing too hard. Yeah, no, it's a fantastic movie. Let me just open up the software that plays the music and set the music going. Right, I'm going to toddle off for 5 minutes or so. I might make another hot drink or something. I need to go to the toilet so badly, I've got goosebumps. I'll see you all in a minute. Thanks for watching. Hopefully some of you will still be here when I get back. Bye!
It cares a damn where you come from or who you are. These are carriage horses from London. Oh. Hilarious. They see the water, they all jump in. They'd never been through anything bigger than a puddle.